Alright, welcome back. So today I have a special treat. I recently went back to my old house and I remembered I had these old Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure decks. Sadly, I only have two of them. I have the Merrick and the Yugi one. I wish I had the Kaiba one at least, and the Joey one. Although, so I can have like the four guys from Battle City. So these are Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure decks released in Japan. It has not been released over here in America. However, I got this one when I was very little. The show was still ongoing, and when my cousin and I saw this deck, we're like, whoa, this is probably the best like Yugi deck, and I can't wait to get it in English. We never got it in English. That's why I started doing the other anime decks that I want to do. But I want you guys to see what Japan was getting in comparison to us. Like, this structure deck for me is one of the best and most balanced Yugi decks. It's not broken or anything, because I do know there has been a Yugi structure deck in America, but it's slightly different. So I want you guys to see the focus on this one. It's a really cool deck, and I hope you enjoy. So here we go. So as you can see, it's already open. I do not want to break it anymore. Let me remove this. Aha. Alright, so this one I had to put on a sleeve because sadly it was tearing it down here. But of course the boss monster of this deck is Dark Paladin. As you know, Battle City, Yugi versus Kaiba, Dark Paladin. So now you're going to see why this deck is really cool. If you guys want to see the rest of the thing, sadly I do not have the booklet, right? There's a little booklet that shows you things you can upgrade. But yeah, this is the old, mat that you can get, right? Put this over here, and this is the how to play. If you guys know how to read Japanese, then here it is, the old how to play. Alright, so now with that being done, let's just go straight into the deck. So we have one copy, right, of Buster Blader. This was my first Buster Blader. At the time, I didn't even the episode wasn't out yet. So me and my cousin, we knew this was a fusion between Dark Magician and Buster Blader. We had no idea its effect or the name, but now we know, Dark Paladin, yeah. So next up, for the cards, let me remove them here, because these decks actually come with 55 cards. So it is actually meant to have the side deck. You can make a 40 card deck and also have a side deck. So we go Dark Magician. I forgot, it was Dark Blade, right? I think it's called Dark Blade. Gazelle, a King of Mythical Beast. One copy of Giant Soldier of Stone. Mystical Elf. Whatever this thing is, this clearly already has an English version, I don't know the name. So that's it for the normal monsters that I chose for this deck. Then we have Buster Blader. Dark Magician Girl. So this deck only has 3 tribute monsters, which, thinking about tournament plays, that was like very balanced, very very good. You're not gonna get bricked by tribute monsters at least, right? All right. So next up, Zombie of the Dark. One copy of Skilled Dark Magician. Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Giant Rat. Sangan. Old Vindictive Magician. Magician of Faith. Karibo. Big Shield Gardna. And Royal Magical Library. Yeah. So these are the monsters that I chose for this deck. As you can see, there's a couple of more here. But as you can see, pretty balanced. Some cards he didn't play, other cards he did play. He played later on. I think this deck is fantastic, especially if you just want to start Yu-Gi-Oh! And you have these decks and you want to feel like you're Yugi. This deck is amazing. All right, so now for the magic cards, you got Magical Dimension. Sorry, forgot the name. Dark Magic Curtain. Vows and Knives, Mystic Box, Fusion Sage, Polymerization, Fusion Gate, Emblem of Dragon Destroyer, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn, Tribute to the Doom, Fisher, Mystical Space Typhoon, and United We Stand, which honestly this should have been a Mage Power, but whatever, this card's even stronger, so hey, I'd go for it. So this is why I always thought Yugi had this card in the anime, because I saw it on this deck and I was like, oh, is he ever going to play it? As far as I know, he never played it, but it is on this deck. So yeah, very powerful equip card. Then lastly, the trap cards. And now, if you guys remember, when the original Duel Monsters anime was ongoing, Mirror Force was $60. So my cousin and I got this deck when we had the Japanese version. However, I always wanted to play with American cards, right, the English. But yeah, so if you got these decks back then, you would have Mirror Force a lot earlier. Then we have, oh, story time. Yeah, and I remember there was a guy who was using Japanese cards, and I was like, man, that's cheating, because like they're, you know, they've had this game for longer than we have. They have other cards, and he had a Mirror Force, but at that time the Mirror Force looked kind of dark, you know, and he was saying, no, it's Mirror Force, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's another card. Years later, yeah, it was Dark Mirror Force, and I'm like, a freaking cheater, I knew it. So I actually won the duel. All right, so Mirror Force, Magic Cylinder. This is actually Spellbinding Circle. Oh my goodness, when I first got this card, I was like, what the heck is this demonic, I mean this thing, right? And then then we realized like, oh yeah, the American version has been changed, right? But this is actually Spellbinding Circle. So I have like three of Yugi's most used trap cards, right? And very good in the TC, you know, in normal play. You also have Trap Hole, Raigeki Break. This is Magic Jammer, Dust Tornado, and what was the name of this card? Royal Decree, right? Yeah, Royal Decree. So that is it for the 40 card deck, right? And now for the extra cards that I removed from the deck, because it actually comes with 55. So we have the Winged Guardian of the Fortress, which I love the color and artwork of this card. So if I ever make a Duelist Kingdom deck, this card, one of the reasons I'll do that deck is Blackluster Soldier, Magician of Black Chaos, you know, and like cards like this, you know, it's just so iconic, right? Feral Imp, Beaver Warrior, and then you have these couple of cards, right? This, I don't know the name. You have Diffusion. I think this was called Restructured Revolution. Monster Recovery. I forgot the name. Remove Trap. Then it's Chain Destruction. Light Force Sword. I love the artwork. These cards are iconic for Battle City, but man, I don't, just for like a friendly duel and stuff, I don't like playing these cards. But I always keep them around because they're so iconic. Eye of Truth, Shift, and this thing. Now I know this card exists in English. I don't know what it does, so maybe it's really OP, and I should probably rearrange, you know, the deck so I can include this and the other two monsters with it. Yeah, and that's about it for this Yugi deck. So this is the Japanese structure deck that we never got. I think it is extremely good, very epic, and you know, very awesome. You actually feel like Yugi playing this deck. But yeah, that's about it. And then next I will actually be showing, I'll be showing the Mary deck on the next video, so you guys can see what the Japanese Mary deck was like, you know, when people in Japan got it, and compared to the one that we got here, which the one we got here was really good too. But as always, that one had a bigger focus on Grave Creepers, and as far as we know, in the anime, Mary didn't or barely even played Grave Keepers. He does have some Grave Keepers here, but yeah, you'll see the difference between that deck and this deck. And that's about it for today. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.